out every answer.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know that I did it right.
Okay, sure. So first of all, the setup is just like a chain of events. Are you cool with that? What's the start of the chain?
So the way I diagrammed it out now because we have time. I didn't initially, but
That's fine.
It's like stress can cause high blood pressure.
Okay, stress reduces high blood pressure, right? Oh no, stress causes high blood pressure. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then calming your mind
Yep.
and lower stress, which can lower blood pressure.
Okay, so calming reduces stress, which reduces blood pressure or high.
Right.
Yep. Okay, and then there was one more thing.
Then it's exercise can promote calming or calm minds.
Yes. So exercise makes you more calm. Calm makes you less stressed, and less stress reduces your pressure, right? Okay. So this is kind of the relationship.
Yeah.
Cool. So why is A wrong?
So I thought A was wrong because there's no real connection between lowering blood pressure to stress, lowering stress.
Yeah,
So,
it's flipped, right? It's saying that this causes this, but we're saying no, this causes that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
I thought B was wrong because hang on, sorry, I just need to review this one. Because it's kind of taking people who are who have high blood pressure as the main focus versus people who are stressed, which is what we've been working off of. So it's
No. So it does say most people with high blood pressure can lower that blood pressure by reducing their stress.
Right.
If you reduce your stress, you can lower your blood pressure. So why is this wrong?
Well, I mean, it's not saying that stress causes blood pressure. It's saying blood pressure causes stress, essentially. No.
No, so A was flipped. B is not flipped because it says you can lower your blood pressure. You can lower this by, what do? You reduce your stress.
Okay.
The problem is the word most. If you look back at the passage, they kept using the word some. They said some people can lower their blood pressure.
Gotcha.
And so most goes too far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's wrong with C?
So like it says that if you do not exercise regularly, you'll have higher stress levels as a result.
Yeah.
And isn't that it's first of all it's most people, and then second
Yeah,
of all,
it's most.
Isn't that just flipping it again, saying like?
It's kind of like a false contrapositive. It's not exactly the same idea, but if you exercise more, then you can become calmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't exercise, does that mean you have higher stress levels? Not necessarily. You could reduce that stress by some other means, right? Is that what you were thinking, like an alternative?
Yeah, I was thinking this is an element because the relationship doesn't talk about people who do not exercise.
That's exactly right? It's like a false contrapositive. Like, this is sufficient for that, but the absence of this doesn't necessarily mean that won't happen.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, D?
So engaging in exercise can directly lower one's blood pressure. It kind of seems to just skip over the premises of a calm.
Yeah, so what's the key
de-stressing.
word here? What word makes D wrong?
Can directly.
Can is fine. Can is soft.
Mm-hmm.
Directly is the issue.
Okay.
Because it's not direct, it's indirect,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Otherwise, I actually almost circled D. I was like, oh yeah, cool. And then I was like, wait, E sounds good. Oh, directly. Not direct. Okay, so E, why is E correct?
Well, I mean, first off, it's some people.
Some, super soft.
So super soft, and then it's essentially only. I mean, the way I looked at it was it only skips over one step, more or less. It says that exercising reduces stress.
There's no problem with skipping steps as long as you don't say what?
The opposite.
Directly.
Directly.
Yeah, like they could say, increasing your exercise reduces your blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, because that's true. The problem with D, the only problem with D is the fact that it said directly.
Right.
And by saying it directly, it's like it sort of cut out these middle things.
Okay.
This affects this indirectly, but it still affects it.
Okay.
So since E doesn't use the word directly, it's fine.
Okay.
Now, I know E goes from here to here,
Yeah.
E could go from here to here, it could go from here to here, it could go from here to here, it could go from here to here, from here to here, or from here to here. All of those are possible correct answers.
Would the leap that they're making in E from like E to S or to stress, exercise to stress, would that enter into it if they were to say, if it didn't say directly in D, for instance? I'm just trying to understand.
No, then you'd have two correct answers.
They would both be.
Yeah, the only problem with D is directly. If you take that directly out, E would be correct and E would be correct. It's not like you could say, oh, E is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going off of that, I didn't catch directly as being problematic when I read D. So
Okay.
I had initially picked D, but read E and thought if D is right, then E would have to be right also.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went back and picked E instead. Does that rationale make sense? I know why directly now is bad, but does that process of
Well,
elimination-
you're right that if this leads to this, it definitely leads to that. Because it leads to this because of this. So your rationale was right.
Okay.
You just might want to come back to this question and be like, after the test is over, like, why do these two answers seem like they could be both correct?
Right, right.
Because if you get rid of directly, there's actually no problem with D.
Okay,
Because can is a soft word, it just means some.
right.
It's like even weaker than some. It's like it can, well, I mean,
It's a
maybe
possibility.
it's a possibility, but maybe no one's ever done it. But it's still, it's a super weak answer.
Right, right. Okay.
Cool. All right.